That's what happens usually. I was going to say one day Lamb's going to drop somewhere his enemies already are and established. That's what I'm saying, mate. That's what it's like. So what happens is this, people, right? It didn't happen with us because we were always in jail all our lives anyway, so we were established in the prison before any other country. But what happens is every so often that generation of gangbangers, that group of firm who's had the city locked down, will get took out and a new firm will come in. Now the new firm that's trying to come in is now targeting half of this firm's lads who are still out. That half of that firm's gone in jail for madness. The graft's still going outside, and half of that firm's boys are still outside managing to keep the graft going. Now you've got this firm, let's say like the Lamb. Let's just use the Lamb as an example, innit? Now you've got the Lamb and his firm looking at the graft thinking, we want that. Now these are starting to target these, target houses, target girlfriends, cutting, shooting, They lock the graft up, they flow them for a year or two, and then boom, you took out. Now the Lamb has got to go into a prison establishment where the people he's been targeting for the past 3 or 4 years on the outside world have been in there. And on that wing that they're on, they've got the drugs coming in, they've got the phones. They've been in different jails on the sentence, so they've got a network. So if Lamb lands down there, they can go, my man there, quid for him. That's it, he's done. They don't give a fuck about your reputation outside. Your reputation outside used to give you a lot of power inside. Now it doesn't. You know, you can be the hardest person on the wing, but that spice head will cut your throat for a bag. Simple as that, mate. You'll have people like Yammy B willing to just take your throat off for a 2-item thing in prison. Your reputation out here means all in prison. Nothing. It will do to your little bunch of Scousers or your little bunch of Manchester kids, but that bunch of Cockneys and them bunch of Brummies don't give two. They're doing 30 wrecks. Think they're asked about you and your reputation outside. That's it, when waiting for food, all sorts, mate. Oh, mad shit. If you've been to jail, you've got half a clue. If you've been to proper jail, you know. I never went to dispersal systems. The long-term dispersal systems. Larton, Full Sutton, Frankland, Whitemore. But I went to your Wood Hills and your Strangeways and your Swale Sides, which is not far from the atmosphere and the environment in the long terms. In fact, they're more volatile. Wood Hill, Manchester, gaffs like that are more volatile than the long-term wings in dispersal systems. When it goes, it goes. Do you understand? But the majority of the time on them wings, you've got people doing awful a long time, and they're just into this prison sentence, and they don't want all this loud gang banging all over the wing every minute of the day. They want it nice, calm, tranquil. And if you can't fit into this, you get off the wing. So there's more madness in like your local prisons, your Wood Hills, your Manchesters, your Waltons. There's more violence and all that goes on. But the level of violence that's used in them long-term establishments, when it's used, it's next level. So it can be dead peaceful, dead calm, and then just from nowhere, boom. And then an hour later, boom, dead calm again. Did you do time with Ricky Keelan? No, mate. I done my time by myself, lad. Yeah, I sat there and mixed with certain individuals, threw me to prison, but my jail was done by myself. I'd never had the ability to bounce off a pad mate. So you'll get people in prison that cannot do their jail in a single cell. They just can't do it. They need the company, they need a pad mate, otherwise they can't do the jail, suicidal and all that. I done mine in my cell by myself with me, no pad mate. Proper jail. Damo said I'd rather be on my own. Well, some do, mate. Some do rather be on their own, but some just can't handle it. Some can't cope. Some can't, you know, they can't deal without a pad mate. Honest, you got fellas who are doing 10, 15 years and they can't do the jail unless they're in a stubble cell. They need that escape. They can't deal with their own feelings in them four walls, and that's what I've been doing. They can't function. That's what it is, like. Yes, Rob, 420. Jail's not good for you. Jail's not good for you. Not good for your girlfriend. Not good for your kids. Not good for your family. Jail is absolutely soul destroying. Not many people like to admit the damage that's done through their experiences in prison. You know, they like to think that they're not off their experience in prison, when in reality they are. You know, in the face of it, everything just seems the same, but behind closed doors, they're having their little issues, and they've only done 6 months. This is what prison can do to you, people. It can switch you, have you with crazy problems, and it only takes 6 months in that environment for you to switch. You just end up tapped, depending on what the environment is. Like, if you go to a local prison, and you're on a remand wing, and it's got a parcel in, there's people getting cut all over the gaff, there's some people getting robbed, there's just madness, screws getting just because there's drugs landed on the wing. And there's drugs landing on the wing every other week, so you get that same dynamics every week. Violence, protest, murder, screaming, shouting, people ODing. All this, all in 24 hours. Every 24 hours you've got someone getting strapped to a chair because he's having a spice attack. Honest to God, when I was in that Wolverhampton, we were the first to get Black Mamba in Oakwood. And we were the first to give someone a go with him. I've told you this story, we had this kid from Wolverhampton in Oakwood with us, called a lab rat. And he was just a junkie, he was an house robber. And anything we got, he tested. That's why he was called a lab rat. And we'd do all mad gimmicks on him, you know, to make our jail better. He'd be like the scapegoat, the victim, basically. So we'd have YouTube and we'd get like the cinnamon challenge. Have you seen the cinnamon challenge? Well, we'd have lab rats doing the cinnamon challenge and we'd all be in stitches off lab rats, you know, because he can't breathe, nearly dead off this cinnamon challenge. And we'd have him doing all mad. See if you can run along that banister without falling off, lab rat, and you get 2 steps and just go, eh. But he'd get a thing, so he was buzzing. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've got this Black Mamba in. Screw brought it in. And it just looked like weed, but it obviously wasn't weed, do you know what I mean? So we made this normal spliff, like a 3-sheeter spliff, packed it out like it's an outside spliff, and we've shouted, lab rat, we've got this new weed, lad, do you want to try it for us? Yeah. But you've got to smoke it, like this. So the agreement was, you'll have 1 power pull, and then 5 little pulls, so you'll go, and then 5, hold it in for 5 seconds, let it out, and you've got to smoke the whole spliff like that. If you do that, we'll give you a sack of this weed. And he's like, that, yeah. And we're just thinking it's normal weed, this. And he goes, holds it in, he's flying, thinking this is easy. Goes in for the next round, off that 1 big pull, he just goes, boom, like a lamp, just drops side on, dinch, like a pole. His legs come off the deck when he lands, but he's landed half on the bed, half off bed like a plank. Stiff as cardboard he is, just stuck like a piece of wood, half on the bed and half not. Do you understand what I mean? And we're looking at him, it's like 3 of us in the cell going, what's going on with him here? And we're looking, he's starting to slobber now. All this coming out of his mouth, he's starting to go like this. I'm thinking, I'm in panic mode. I'm thinking, why is this a manslaughter charge? I've only got 3 years left. So I'm starting to pick him up, put him on in bed, you know, trying to make him look like he's a kid instead of having this big mashing. We're trying to talk to him. Listen, are you alright, lad rat? You're okay, you're okay. Can you speak to us? Let us know you're okay. And the only thing he can do, his eyes are wide open when he's going through this madness. Not scared. You can see the fear through his face as he's going through this. His eyes are wide open. And the only way he can communicate with us is by doing this. Now the reason I got on to the lab rat and that thing is because the chair, the spice chair, it's a chair, right? So you know when they have an episode on the spice, when they go too far they go off the bar. It's an OD on the spice isn't always out cold on the deck shaking. You know, I know I've seen kids add too much of that spice and they've keeled over waist deep, so the legs are straight but the waist and the body from there is like that, and they're running into the wall, boom, banging the wall, and like a dodging car, you know, like one of them cars, a dodging car. He's hitting that wall at first, going pew, turning round head fast onto another wall, bang, bang, bang. They hit the deck. This is in Inley, this. They come on the deck like that, dying. I've had to go over and start doing this resuscitation. Got him back to life. I'm not lying, no. All the screws were watching me getting this kid back to life like that, in shock, didn't know what to do. Never seen this before. Some wool. My head went off that, mate. I ended up in the block in Inley off that. Crazy. And then got out. But the lab rat, you know, it doesn't matter, mate. Within an hour of him recovering from that, the next day he's at your door. Can you have more spice? Can you have more spice? He loves that. You know, the condition he was in suited him fine. He wants more of that. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we've given it again this time and he's overloading again. But this time he hasn't just gone gink and, you know, ended up in a mess or knocked out. He started going trying to stand up with it, trying to run out the cell. You know, we're trying to keep him in the cell so we don't come bang on, and this is putting him on like a panic mode. He thinks now we're trying to grab him and harm him, so he's scrapping for his life to get out of this cell. Honest to God, he gets out and he's just going a ratter, kicking off on anyone and everyone. They can't stop him. They just wheel this big chair in. Honest to God, it was like a JCB tractor. Yellow and black chair, big, like a side to this to it, big things round it. He just got him and went bam, held his head, got a strap across his foot, bam, round his foot, round his shoulders, round his feet, round his ankles, and just wheeled him off like this. The way he can't move, he's just pushing him away like that. And I thought, what the is prison coming to? The way they just strapped him to that chair and marched him down the seg. Never seen him for like 4 days. Every time someone had an attack now, that chair just got wheeled on and you knew what was happening. The kid would just get manhandled, slammed into the chair while he's having this fit, and they'd just go zap, zap, and he'd just be there like that. Getting pushed off the wing. God. That's every jail, that now, actually. Every single jail has got one of them chairs in it now, because they can't handle the spice attacks. That's the truth, that, mate. Honestly, you ask kids who are in jail, what do they do when a kid has a spice attack? They wheel this from big. It's like you know when people are getting put to death in America and they sit on that big chair. It's what it's like on wheels. I'm not lying, you know. You know when you've seen someone getting put to the lecky chair and they strap his arms there and strap him across here and strap his foot back, and that's exactly what the chair was like. Elaborate like that. Man. Makes the saying, get yourself an audiobook out, mate. Man down. That's what they used to say. That was the call. You know, in prison, you know, like outside, the busies have got radios. Inside, the screws have got their radios and they've got all mad. And that's what they used to call it. I was like, God, that's what you used to say across the radio. Man down, and they just come with the chair. Like an ambulance, Nino. Everyone on the way, on the landing like this, buzzing off the kid going through his attack. Get it! It's horrible in there, mate. A restraint chair, that's what it is, Damien. But you'd never seen them in the prison system. I'd never seen that type of chair in the prison system, and I've been going all my life until like 2009, 2010. That's when they brought them chairs in. And initially it was just like a wheelchair from the healthcare, you know, just a little daft wheelchair, but it couldn't keep them locked in the chair. So they invented this mad chair, restraint chair they call it. Man down. I think that's what one of the spices was called later on as well, innit? Man down. It's mental how they keep taking it after episodes. They're addicted to it. So I've seen people, this is true, I've watched heroin users who've been heroin users for 20, 30 years of their life. They've come into prison rattling their back off. They've had one joint of spice, the rattle's gone. They don't even crave heroin now, they crave the spice. You know, spice can take a heroin user away from heroin. Damo saying you're joking, I'm not, mate. Honest to God, spice can take that heroin user away from heroin. Half of your heroin users on your streets now, they're all on the spice, not heroin.